Okay, everybody. Afternoon. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, and I think it's some earthly hour of 7 o'clock in the morning, I think, in Colorado. Welcome to Thursday afternoon's DSD Thunder Hangout. It's the 30th of July if you're watching this on catch-up or repeat or whatever. Trust me, at this moment you want to fast forward to the interesting people and get rid of that boring old sod that's starting off talking on the Hangout. We have with us once again, we have Michelle and Paul. Am I right in saying you are from Colorado?
What about our life in Colorado?
Is that where you live?
Yes, we are in Colorado, and actually, Steve, it's like 3 in the morning here. It's not 7. So we got up because we love you guys so much over in the UK that we got up nice and early. No, I'm kidding. It's 7 a.m. and we're early risers anyway. We're good to go.
You nearly had me in tears, I have to say. I can imagine the whole of DSD Thunder team are sort of just rolling around crying, you know, and there's a bucket going around taking a collection for you. Obviously, it's great to have you back, guys, and we'll talk in a minute about where you've been and what you're doing, because as I said to you before we come on air, I've been watching your comments and your appearances since you last came, and my God, your profile has improved. You're actually more famous than me, although that doesn't really say much, but
I don't think so.
Well, I kind of look at you as like, you know, Sir Anthony Hopkins or something. Come on.
if only. I've been called many things, Paul, but that is not one of them.
Well, chalk that up to your experience now.
Okay, just before we talk to Paul and Michelle, I just want to talk about what we've been doing for the last week. The week started off quite nicely. You probably saw my post in DSD Thunder and possibly on the Freedom Fighters post, where a member of the public contacted me and wanted to return an item that he'd bought 9 months before because it was broken. I politely told him that it basically had exceeded the 14-day returns policy, and he did a reply which I wouldn't say was rude, but he was obviously disappointed in the fact that he couldn't return it. But you've got to admire these people for trying it on. And as I said to Paul and Michelle before we come on air, I actually have searched to see when I sold this item. He said it was November, but I searched right back to August of last year and I can find no trace. So whether he was actually trying it on, I don't know. But needless to say, for once in my life, I was awake, I was alert, and there was no way he was doing that to me. So once again, you know, any job that deals with the public, I know from my previous careers, it's never dull, that's for sure. Also, an update. I met with 5 other members of DSD Thunder last night online, and we discussed about putting more training videos and documents into the file section. I may have mentioned this before. Got a great team behind me now. This team consists of Tom, Chrissy, Mark, Kay, I'm looking at my list, Laura and Nikki. And some of the things that we have decided to do between now and the end of August are as follows, and forgive me for reading my notes, but at my age you tend to forget things, you know. I actually have a sign saying breathe out, you know, because I've breathed in and then I forgot. So what we're doing is we're looking at the advantages or disadvantages of opening up an eBay shop. Lots of conflicting messages. For those of you like me, when you joined at the beginning, 18 months ago, the message coming out of DSD was that a shop was a no-no. That doesn't appear to be the message now. So we're looking at that. We're looking at negative feedback and a disclosure document that will hopefully alleviate that. What happens is when people are inquiring about where's my stuff, or an item, you know, has been damaged in transit or whatever, eBay point them towards, that's my, I don't believe this is my phone.
You're supposed
Anyway.
to turn those things off during webinars, Steve.
That just shows it's live. It will stop in a minute, please. There you go. So yeah, when people want to make an inquiry about where's my stuff, for instance, eBay point them through take them through a system, and if they press any of the buttons for whatever issue they have, that automatically raises a defect against you, and they're almost impossible to remove or get removed. So with today I put a disclosure document into the file section, which will we suggest you use every time you sell something and you contact the customer. And in there you'll see that it talks about thank you for your order, delivery will be between such and such a date. But also, if you have any issues, please contact us by replying to this message. That keeps them away from the eBay system, and that should reduce defects. I'm not going to put, yes, I am going to put Paul on the spot, because Paul's just told me that he is actually putting together a webinar that will help with bad feedbacks and stuff like that. Now, he isn't going to disclose it. I've offered him a bribe, but he isn't going to disclose anything. So we have to wait until it's available. But that will be extremely helpful as well. And as soon as that webinar is done, that will be permanently put into our files section, as long as Paul doesn't patent it, and that's the end of that. But if he does, we'll just never invite him back on here again, which will be gutted. But
You could bribe us with a Portugal vacation over there.
you're done. That's it. Done.
We would have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm very fond of English chocolate, such as Cadbury and stuff too. So that might work.
Okay. Well, that's the cheaper option other than Portugal. So we'll be doing that. We're also looking from a UK perspective, a simple ABC list of how to list in America. We were discussing it last night, and I was saying that all my team that list in America have all got the same zip code. So from the outsiders looking in, there's a hell of a lot going on in Tampa at the moment. So it's so we're going to do that. We know that listing in America is obviously covered by a DSD, but there are little things from a UK perspective that we need to take on board when we're doing it. We're also going to do something about the EAN and MPN numbers, which everybody was frightened about, including me at the beginning. Well, what a damn squid that turned out to be. It just wasn't an issue in the end. But we will be covering that, because from a new person's point of view, that may still be a little bit worrying, but trust me, there's nothing to worry about. Tom is going to do a short video about cashback, because our own UK cashback has folded, but at the same time he found another one which is even better, so he's going to deal with that. Still looking at my list. You can imagine this was a long conversation last night. What happens when you get a request to come and collect your item from home? Everybody seems to worry about that when they first get that request. Again, today a document has gone in with a disclosure that you put that you send to the customer when they make that request. We're also going to talk about global shipping, do a video on that. Mark's doing that one. Kay is going to do a document, a step-by-step on a return procedure, so that everybody understands that. All the team are going to do videos, or a video about the various packages within DSD. So from Pro, Elite, Monopoly, etc., etc. We'll be doing video on that, and each person will cover their particular package. So we'll have somebody talking about Pro, we'll have somebody talking about Elite, Unleashed, Monopoly, and Genesis, although I don't think we have anybody that's got Genesis at the moment, but that may change. And finally, there'll be a video about how to become an affiliate, the advantages of being an affiliate, and basically like a training video. So that's all coming. All these will be completed by the 31st of August. If it's not, shoot me. But that's the time frame, and it's going to be pretty good. So that's enough for me. Paul, Michelle, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. My pillow's right here because it's 3 in the morning, so I'm getting. You're good. No, you know, it sounds like you got some awesome stuff coming out for your team there, Steve. That's great. I mean, because all of those little benefits of training, little aspects, scripts that you can use for different things, such as I've had people contact me. You know, you said to come by your house and pick something up. And I'm sure what my response is very similar is just, you know, with your disclosure script, it's like, you know, everything is shipped out from the warehouse. I don't have, you know, that type of stuff. Those, you know, very simple. But yeah, it's amazing the requests you get and different things from people. And it sounds like you're doing a great job for your team there in the UK. So that's awesome.
But I say, I don't know if we mentioned it last time, but the team is getting so big now that we have to take that another step forward. I'm sure the dream team, as it was, we're in a similar position going back to a year last August. You know, when it first started, that there was probably very little in the file section. But you only have to look at it now, and also freedom fighters as to what's in their back office now is just amazing. And we have to grow, and you know, we owe it to our team to provide them with the best possible chances of succeeding within this business. I mean, DSD do a grand job at that, but more locally, as in within the UK, we need to do that as well. So that was the reason for moving it on. And I think generally we're pleased with the way it's going. We'll make mistakes, but we'll learn from them, and then we'll move on again. So. So what have you been doing then since we last spoke?
Lots of different things, as you mentioned earlier about training I'm putting together. It's going to be sometime next week, within the next 7 or 8 days, probably early next week. We're not sure, and it's going to be available, you know, through Freedom Fighters. There'll be, I think we'll use Webinar Jam or whatever for the teaching and stuff. But I had gotten my eBay account in trouble, and I fixed it in less than 2 weeks. I had fallen below standard, and Michelle had actually come across an idea that she found online, and she said, "Do you think this would work?" And I said, "All right, well, let's try it." And so we tried it, and I was blown away. So I had an account that was below standard, and I sold over 90 items in about a 2-week stretch. Over 90 items, and I got my account back above standard for the next projected seller rating. So it's amazing, this little technique. It's not that expensive. You can actually, the goal is not to make money on it, but the goal is to fix your account. And I'm going to be teaching people how to do that. And this same technique also, if your account's fine and doing well, and you're trying to achieve that top-rated seller status, this will do it for you. It's so simple. And it's fast. It's not that expensive, as I mentioned, and there is a chance of making money. I actually ended up investing a little bit, not that much. I haven't run the exact numbers yet, but because I'm preparing for the webinar here. But it's amazing what this can do for your account, and I was blown away. And over about half of the items that I sold, I got positive feedback on. You know, no negatives, of course, but it's just like the feedback that, because I came up with the plan and designed it, my feedback ratio is about 50%, which, you know, you usually don't get that many feedbacks for your sales, but on this particular deal, it worked out. So we're pretty excited about that training coming up here.
Can you hear all that noise in the background?
What noise?
It's all the people from DSD Thunder screaming at you. Tell me.
I thought you had a train going by your house or something. So, yeah, but no, we're excited to share it. We're very excited because we've been getting people asking me about it, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag until I do the training, because there's a specific way you want to do this, and be very professional about it and stuff. And
yeah.
So Anyway,
that's fine. Obviously, we've had to reduce the bribe now to half a bar of chocolate. So and only Michelle can come out to Portugal. So, you know, fair's fair. Anyway.
So, okay, now that I'm gonna put you on the spot, Steve. So the truth about the redness of your skin when you're in Portugal. Now was it a sunburn or was it too much alcohol? What's the deal?
Too much alcohol, I'm afraid. Yeah. I'd love to say it was the sun, but you'd just call me a liar, and that'd be the end of that. So it was fantastic, and if all goes according to plan, we'll be there this time next year. So
fantastic. Yeah, it looked like you guys were having an awesome time. That's great.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it's scary, I have to say, because you know, it's a massive decision, and we're not scared about moving to Portugal. It's just everything that it will take to get there, and all the various loopholes that we have to go through to get it complete. But we've started the ball quite well, very well, in fact, and you know, we're probably about halfway to completing it now. So you know, it's all going very well. But yes, you're more than welcome, you know, over there. In fact, I doubt if Sandra and I would have any time to ourselves by the number of people that want to come and visit. So that'll be that.
There you go.
We were only looking for a 2-bedroom property, but I think the number of visitors, we're actually going to have to buy a mansion. So one of the things I've noticed with you both is that when you came on before, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think you said you'd been in DSD for about 3 months at that point. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. And I think that was about 2 months ago that you were here. Maybe 3 months ago, I can't remember now without looking at the calendar. But I've watched with interest your sort of progress within DSD. Obviously, I don't know it from your business point of view, but certainly from a profile point of view, you seem to have gone from a newbie, a new person in DSD, to somebody that's well respected, or both of you that are well respected. How the heck have you done that? Because I want to know your secret.
It's my wife's good looks. That's.
I knew it wouldn't be yours, Paul. So. But I mean, seriously, was that a deliberate thing that you wanted to do, or is that just something that's happened?
Well, I think that our biggest thing, Steve, is that we really want to help people, and I think that you know, just helping more people just like you. You know, you are a rock star over in England. You know, you just want to help people, and the more you want to help people, the more people gravitate you and want to know what you're doing. And you know, we want to obviously have a successful business and with inside, you know, drop shipping and eBay and Amazon, but also we want to build an affiliate team, because there's so many people that are stuck in their jobs and they're not making enough money, or you know, they're not happy where they are. And so when you just start helping people, you know, it just kind of promotes you up like that. And that's our motive, totally, 100%, is how many people can we help? How many people can we help be successful? And so that's why we're doing that. That's why Paul's doing the webinar next week. You know, one thing with when he was talking about, we were faced with a problem. You know, it got below standard. There was just some things that we didn't know. Paul didn't know he was doing it, you know, wrong, and it caused him to get in trouble. We didn't know. And that's what the new training and stuff has really helped to improve that, to stop some of those things happening. But when you have a problem, in Colorado, we say cowboy up, you know, to really suck it up and go for it and change it, instead of being like, oh, what am I going to do? And so that's one thing I wanted to encourage your team and DS Thunder, is to, when you have a problem, to find an answer, even though it might take a little time, but to go for it. And yeah, that's our main thing, is to help people.
Absolutely. Yeah, the system works. The system works. So don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Just figure out a plan and, you know, go for it, because it works. Stick with it.
That's excellent advice. Talking about sticking with things, we over here in the UK, the automation was introduced, I think, about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit less than that, and the tracking as well. I'm right in saying, I think, that in America, when that was introduced in June, there were teething problems, which have now been addressed. Us in the UK, we've now got teething problems, which are being addressed by Hitesh, which, you know, these things are going to happen. From the American point of view, it would be nice for the people in the UK to sort of understand really what's coming when it's all sorted out, and also how useful it is. I mean, certainly the tracking. I mean, over here, the tracking didn't work because it was bouncing back into American dollars and whatever. So obviously there's slight little teething problems there. But how did you find, or how did people in America find the automation and the tracking?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, it was like the middle of June that all the new, you know, automation and stuff came out and was launched after the event in Dallas. And I mean, we're only like 6 or 7 weeks past that point. So the first several weeks, I actually did not sign up for the IDP package or anything. I just kind of wanted to sit back and watch, because anytime that there's a new software coming out or whatever, there's always going to be glitches. There's always going to be something. So I just want to kind of sit back and see, you know, what's going to be the problems here. What, you know, what are they going to be facing? What issues we have to fix here? So I just kind of watched it and stuff. And then once I saw, you know, because people were making comments, hey, this isn't working right, whatever. And then they started to tweak and adjust. So then I went ahead and got my IDP package, and I started doing the tracking and management and stuff. I have not set any of my accounts up yet for the auto fulfill, so I can't really comment on that. But I know that there are people that are having, you know, great success with that so far here in America. But the tracking and management has been fantastic, because it has raised and lowered my prices, you know, kept my profit margin where I want it to be. It's done that automatically. It's ended listings for me when I've set the number of how many I want to have left in stock. It's like when it hits like, you know, 7 or 5 or whatever I pick, when it gets to that point, you know, end that for me, because I don't want to get out of stock. Because the out of stock issue was the problem that I got my account in trouble with, because I was canceling orders because I couldn't find the product anywhere to fulfill my order. So I couldn't explain to get the customer to cancel and so forth, the order, that type of stuff. So, and I wasn't sure how to handle it all. So that's how I got my account in trouble. So that's been a blessing, how that has worked out with that automation. I'm sorry, with the tracking and the management. So all I can say for you guys in the UK, I know, you know, and the technological sense, the issues and stuff, you guys, you know, they're concentrating here in America first, obviously, but they're the integrity, the leadership of the DSD company is fantastic. And I know they're doing everything they possibly can to be as diligent to take care of the issues that you guys are facing over there. So they care about you guys. Of course, we care about you in the UK. So just stick with it. I want to encourage you just to hang in there for $20 a month at the pro level. You know that the DSD company is not out for your money, because, you know, I don't even think that's even really covering the technical stuff that they have to do. Software has so many parts to it, so many moving parts. And my understanding, between getting everything synchronized between eBay, the DSD website, Amazon, you know, whatever other suppliers you guys have, there's a lot of intricate moving parts in there. And if something gets changed, it can create a temporary issue. And so they've got to go in there and fix and adjust that. So hang in there, guys. Hang in there, and I tell you, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it, what it can do.
Well, what you've just said reminded me, and it's a video that I think that you've seen. I think it's in Freedom Fighters, where there's a guy sitting in his car talking about this very subject, about eBay, Amazon, and DSD, and how to get everything right. Do you recall that video?
Yes, Skip Foster. I mean, he does some great little videos in there. He's extremely knowledgeable and been successful on eBay for years, even before DSD came into existence. So if you have access to the Freedom Fighters, and just in case, I know Steve's made this clear, but everybody on the DSD Thunder team is welcome to become part of the Freedom Fighters Facebook group. And you'll have access to all the free training that's in there. It's just additional to supplement everything that, you know, Steve's already got going on and planned for you guys. But you know, Skip Foster has done some videos on there, and one of them was regarding that very aspect that I just shared, and I just gave a little tiny part of it. He explains very technically what takes place, and if you get a chance, everybody just watch that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. I mean, I watched it, and it's extremely informative. And just to repeat to everybody that's within DSD Thunder, if you're not part of the Freedom Fighters, contact your sponsor and ask to be added. If he or she's not a member of Freedom Fighters, then contact me direct and we'll add you to it, because it may be a new group, but it's very good, and there's some excellent people leading it as well. So I would thoroughly recommend it. A lot more information in it than DSD Thunder, a lot more experienced people than there is in DSD Thunder. But you'd expect that, because these people have been doing it from the beginning. And as Paul's already said, there are people that have been doing this type of work before DSD came along. So I would thoroughly recommend that you sign up to it and watch some of their webinars, if not live, because sometimes they're sort of 2-3 o'clock in the morning, like Paul's doing now, or it's it's sort of very late at night. But either way, they're recorded, so it's you can watch it at your leisure, and they are very, very good. I know that they're trying to con me into being on a webinar on Sunday, but it is, I think the time over here is 2 o'clock in the morning. So I don't think they'll want to see me in my pajamas. So I think I might have to say no, but we'll see. I'm still waiting on confirmation for that. But I mean, America is not ready for me in my pajamas.
You can shoot from the neck up, Steve. That would be okay.
A lot of people have said maybe shoot from the neck down, because it's the head that actually frightens them. But
there you go. Well, one other thought too, Steve, is in case people aren't aware, Freedom Fighters also has their own website, campfreedomfighters.com. And so what's going to happen eventually here, and they're working on Francesca down in Nicaragua. Is that what she's at? Belize, I'm sorry. She's doing a fantastic job, and my son Nathan's going to be assisting her on that website somewhat. But they're putting the content, so as soon as webinars and stuff are put together, all that content is going on the campfreedomfighters.com website, so people will be able to access it from there. And there's also training for specific levels. So if you're at the pro level, the elite, Monopoly, Genesis, whatever, and it's all password encrypted, so you'll be able to partake in those different trainings that are taking place for those different levels as well. And this is all just free content that Freedom Fighters is providing. So it's a great vision and concept that Alessandro and Kenya have put together and asked us to be part of it. And then it's just great. It's just because the cool thing is the leadership in Freedom Fighters, and I'm not here just to totally plug Freedom Fighters. That's not why I'm on the webinar. I'm here to help you, Steve. But I need to say that they care about you. They care about people just like we do. We have a genuine, caring heart that want to help people succeed. Because we've had our share of struggles in life, and whatever we can do to help better someone else's life, that's the desire and the heart of all the leadership that's on the team of Freedom Fighters. So it's free. We want to help. So check it out. That's
brilliant. So you're going to return my check then?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Right. I know you've got a busy day, and I'm very, very grateful, as everybody else is within DSD Thunder, that you've taken the time to join us. I will be asking you back again. It's got to happen.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, anytime.
You may be royalty by then within DSD. Who knows?
We won't forget the little people, Steve. Don't worry.
That's in fact the nicest thing that you've said to me for a long time. So to everybody in DSD Thunder, have a great weekend. Have great sales. I hope your sales end up as good as mine in the last few days, and just keep plugging away. And remember that Christmas is coming. Nobody wants to hear that, but it is. And from a business point of view, the sky's the limit. I know from last Christmas, or the lead up to Christmas, from August onwards, and I was relatively new to DSD, I was blown away by the amount of money that we were making. Can't wait for this year, because we have a lot more knowledge now, and more prepared now, and the training's better now. And at this rate, I could retire by December, I wish. But it's an exciting time. So I think I said on DSD Thunder last week, if you're thinking of giving up, you couldn't have picked a worse time, you know, because it's going to hit the roof, the income. So stick with it. Get your eBay account sorted out. Watch Paul's webinar when it's released, and get yourself ready for some exciting times leading up to December. So from myself, just like to say thanks very much to Paul and Michelle. It's great having you on. I feel as if I've known you for years.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. It's really an honor to be on here and to be your friend and to get connected with the people in the UK. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Absolutely. And one last tip for you guys in the UK. Steve mentioned that holidays are coming up, so watch your stock. And if you cannot find your product, if it's out of stock, use the script that Kenya put together. It's in the DSD back office, you know, in the pro training. Use that script. Use it if you're out of stock.
Brilliant. Yeah. And before I get into trouble, Sandra sends her love as well. So I've got to say that, because she'll watch the recording and she'll tell me off if I don't. So
yeah,
so,
give her a hug.
You have a good week, guys, and say hi to everybody in America for us.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you, Steve.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.